Nolan Grayson. And here's where it gets interesting. Nolan didn't even start as a soldier. Early on, he failed the cut and was stuck working on a search committee, scanning planets like some background extra. 3 years of that, until suddenly, everything flipped. He got accepted, and not just accepted, thrown straight into war, leading invasions, rising fast, becoming a legend whispered about for generations. But then everything changed. The Scourge virus hit. 99.9% of his people gone, just like that. So the mission shifted. Not conquest anymore, survival. That's how he ended up on Earth. And this is where it really messes with your head. He lived like a human. Family, books, freedom, things Viltrum never allowed. He forgot who he was supposed to be, until Mark got his powers. Then it all came crashing back. He tried to conquer Earth, but couldn't go through with it. Emotion broke him. That conflict, it changed everything. Thragg. But wait, this is where power turns dangerous. Thragg wasn't just strong, he was built for it. Trained from birth, every second of his life engineered to create the perfect Viltrumite. And it worked. He became Grand Regent, the one holding the Empire together after Argal's death. But here's the problem. He wasn't loyal to the Empire. He was loyal to himself. Instead of finding Argal's true heir, he assumed they were dead and stopped looking. Why? Because handing over power meant losing his own legacy. That ego changed everything. He even tried to wipe out the Graysons once their bloodline was revealed. Still, he wasn't reckless. Moving Viltrumites to Earth showed long-term thinking. Sparing enemies when needed proved strategy. Then Nolan made a huge mistake. He let him go, and Thragg didn't waste time. He built an army, thousands of hybrids, all for revenge. And when he fought, he didn't just win, he dominated everyone. Terra Grayson. Terra's story shifts everything. Born into chaos and raised off-world, she faced early trauma but never broke. By 8, she was already on missions. But what stood out wasn't power. She questioned orders, chose compassion, and consistently challenged the Empire's harsh mindset with her own beliefs. Craig. Now, here's someone who stayed consistent through everything. Craig. One of the oldest Viltrumites alive, a survivor of the Great Purge, and the only one holding the title of general. His focus was simple. Keep the species alive. He gave Nolan a second chance when others wouldn't. Had multiple children, not for himself, but for the Empire's survival. And when the truth came out about Nolan's bloodline, no hesitation. He switched sides instantly. Not because he liked Nolan, but because he respected the Empire more than his own feelings. That's the difference. Conquest. Conquest wasn't just a soldier. He was a living weapon, sent to wipe out worlds without hesitation. What made him different? He enjoyed it. Violence gave his life meaning, but it left him isolated and feared. Against Mark, that obsession cost him. He chased the fight, not the victory, and paid for it. That addiction, it defined him. Argal. And here's where everything once worked perfectly. Argal wasn't just a ruler. He was the reason Viltrum reached its peak. Under him, the Empire expanded across the galaxy without resistance, turning into an unstoppable force. But what made him different? He ruled through wisdom, not just strength. That's rare for Viltrumites. Then, suddenly, he was gone, assassinated. And just like that, the Foundation collapsed. Without him, the Empire spiraled into chaos, triggering brutal civil wars that nearly destroyed everything he had built. One leader was gone, and the entire system broke. Mark Grayson. But wait, no one flipped the system like Mark Grayson. From the start, he rejected everything Viltrum stood for. Not once, not twice, multiple times, he refused their mission. Loyalty? He didn't care about it. And honestly, that's what made him different. Because when he finally became emperor, everything changed. Instead of conquest, he focused on peace. Wars that had lasted generations. He ended them. Entire planets got access to energy, protection, stability. Things Viltrum never cared about before. It got so effective that the coalition itself started losing purpose. And that's when things turned messy. Alan pushed back. War broke out. But even then, Mark stood his ground, not just as a leader, but as the strongest Viltrumite alive. And that's the real shift. He didn't just inherit power. He redefined what it meant. Anissa began as a ruthless Viltrumite who saw humans as inferior and resisted Earth completely, targeted Mark for his bloodline, leading to a dark and controversial moment. But over time, she changed, married a human, developed empathy, and ultimately sacrificed herself, choosing compassion over power and proving she had truly evolved. Marcus Murphy. And then there's Marcus And his story hits differently. Raised on Earth, he grew up looking up to both Mark and Nolan, trying to live up to something almost impossible. He became the new Invincible, stepping into a legacy that already felt too big, and somehow, he kept up. In some ways, he even surpassed Mark. But then the truth came out, how he was created. And that's where everything broke. That identity shattered him. Self-hatred, anger, confusion, it all built up. Until one day, he turned on Mark himself. That moment says everything. Thaedus, and the one who broke everything. Thaedus. He wasn't just a rebel. He was the first Viltrumite to turn against his own kind, and he didn't hold back. He killed Argol, the greatest emperor they ever had, then created the Scourge virus, the same one that wiped out nearly their entire species. 99.9% gone. But he didn't stop there. He built the coalition, led the resistance, and even helped destroy Viltrum itself. That's not just betrayal. That's calculated destruction on a massive scale. And somehow, it worked. Onan and Ursal, Thragg's twins, Onan and Ursal, came from the same origin but took different paths. Onan stayed brutal and loyal, while Ursal showed restraint and strategic thinking. Sent to kill the Graysons, she later questioned the violence, convinced her siblings to surrender, and helped strengthen the new Viltrumite Empire. Same blood, two outcomes. That contrast says everything. Oliver Grayson. But Oliver, he took things to another level entirely. From the start, he was all in with the coalition. No hesitation, no doubt. He hated Viltrumites, not just the Empire, but what they stood for. And, honestly, you can see why. He grew up being hunted, targeted, and treated like a mistake. That kind of life shapes you. At one point, he was even ready to release the Scourge virus on Earth, knowing exactly what it would do. That's how far he was willing to go. Later, he played it smarter, became a double agent, got close to Thragg, and worked from the inside. And when he died, that's what pushed Mark back into the fight. Thula. And then there's Thula, one of the oldest still standing. You'd expect dominance, right? But this is where things shift. She had experience, sure, and that blade woven into her hair. Easily one of the most unique weapons out there. But even with all that, a younger, weaker Mark nearly took her down. That moment says a lot. Later, she adapted, blending into life on Earth, showing that even the old guard could change. Lucan's story feels more grounded. He had ambition, wanted to rise, prove himself, but he wasn't fully locked into Viltrumite thinking. When others followed orders blindly, he didn't. He chose one partner, built a real family, raised hybrid kids, something the Empire only saw as a strategy. That's the difference. He didn't reject Viltrum, but he didn't lose himself to it either. And in a culture built on domination, that kind of balance stands out. Vidor. And finally, Vidor. His mindset was simple. If you're weak, you don't deserve to live. Sounds tough. Until reality hits. He genuinely believed he could take Nolan in a fight, but when did it actually happen? He got destroyed. Easily. That's the flaw in that ideology. Power without awareness doesn't last long, and Vidor learned that the hard way.